Welcome to the Carriker Chronicles, the People Show. Check the Post of Husker Nation, brought to you by Nebraska Spine Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, there's obviously quite a few things that the Huskers need to work on going forward. I don't think that's any secret. I don't think I'm breaking any news here. But there was a couple of players, young guys, who stood out to me in last Saturday's game versus Northwestern. Some bright spots for the Huskers. Some players to keep an eye on going forward if you're looking for reasons to be optimistic in the future. To be very, very clear, this ain't a fluff piece. I barely sleep with the pillow, ladies and gentlemen. This is just my honest thoughts and opinion. So here are some of the things that need to be improved on. We're not going to belabor this point, but just real quickly. All right, the pass game, we're averaging 5.8 yards per pass attempt. That is crazy. No passing touchdowns, and we are averaging 189 pass yards per game this year. That's less than 200. Again, needs to be improved upon. Our starter to this point, at the time that I'm recording this video, has been Adrian Martinez. He has completed just 57% of his passes. The red zone woes, I'll just give you one stat from last game. All right, last game, Nebraska made 8 trips inside the Northwestern 50-yard line into Wildcat territory. Only scored 3 times, a total of 13 points. Moving quickly, we're not going to belabor all this. All right, penalties. We have lost the penalty battle in both games. We are not to the point where we can afford to do that, nor should we ever try to do that. Not that we're trying to, but the more disciplined team obviously has the more advantage. Right now, that is not us. A prime example last game was we had 5 false starts. That means we couldn't go when the ball was snapped. We went early. Got to address that. Okay. Done. Talked about that. One real quick positive stat before I get to some of these young guys. I mean, rush yards, we're averaging 217 yards rushing per game, and that's without much of a pass game to speak of. No reason to stretch out the field if you're the defense because there's no deep threats right now. And we're averaging around 5.5 yards per carry. I mean, that's decent. That's something to be optimistic about. Imagine if we could actually throw the football a little bit better going forward. I can't wait to see what happens this Saturday versus the Nittany Lions. By the way, what exactly is a Nittany Lion? Nittany, I don't know what that means. Anyways, all due respect to Penn State. So here's some of the young guys that stood out to me. Now, 3 of the 4 of these guys are on defense. Okay, obviously the defense has looked a little bit better, especially against Northwestern. I'm going to start off with freshman safety. Also a lot of freshmen here, okay? Miles Farmer, he had 2 interceptions versus Northwestern, and he got the start in the game because Deontay Williams had to sit out the first half because of targeting. So maybe there's a silver lining because we got to see a little bit of what a very young guy named Miles Farmer could do. Next up, freshman wide receiver Marcus Fleming. He led Nebraska in receiving yards and averaged 15 yards per reception, which is crazy because we're only averaging 5.8 yards per pass attempt. There was also a Xavier Betts sighting. Okay, some of these young wide receivers, hopefully we see more and more of them and see improvements through them because they are guys that can stretch the field. I mean, everybody saw this guy. All right, sophomore linebacker Luke Reimer led the team in tackles, solo tackles, sacks, and tackles for loss. He was like the white blur out there, okay? All right, Ty Robinson, freshman defensive lineman. Now, he tied for the lead in D-line and tackles. Also led the D-line in solo tackles and tackles for loss. I'll be honest with you, there wasn't a big amount of these tackles by any of the D-linemen, but nonetheless, he looks like a monster in the making, okay? So there's many things that Huskers need to improve on, need to get better on. We know that. We talked about some. There's probably more. There are some things that stood out to me. Again, this ain't no fluff piece. All right, I need a freaking new pillow because my pillow's flat as a sheet of paper almost. Okay, but my point is there were some players, a lot of them are young, a lot of them are on defense, a couple wide receivers that did stand out to me. We got to get better. Keep your eyes on those guys specifically going forward. Until next time, Husker Nation, like Yoda said, do or do not, there is no try. Go big red and always remember to throw the bugs. Thanks again to our sponsor, Nebraska Spine Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, when it's your spine, you do not want to mess around, and experience matters. That's why you can trust the experts at Nebraska Spine Hospital, the region's only spine-specific hospital. They are the best at what they do.